So it's a cold and wintry day on this arm, but I'm here to do some work today. Here she is, wee May. She craves attention, and today indeed she is going to get my attention. She's probably not going to appreciate it because it's going to mean a hammer and a chisel, but someone's got to do it. Just such a pretty boat. We're so proud of it. We really look after it. She's pretty, she's cute, she's quaint, she's got no flaw, and there's nowhere to sit. Sorry. So yeah, coming in and have a little look. Now if Mrs Lumsden was coming in, she would not be happy with what I'm doing here, because I have no choice but to bring all of the stuff from down in the sort of living area up to what used to be our bed. I've got half a ton of wood all stacked up in here. That's wood that's come out from where I'm working. And then the kitchen is just an awash of an array of tools and all sorts of stuff, and again it's just all over the place and there's just nowhere to put it. But so yeah, just as a quick update, you'll have seen from previous vlogs my original discovery of some rotten wood in the water pump area, and I could see that there was some ply below the gunnel that was also been affected by that where it met the flooring. Then another vlog was the discovery of all the poured concrete that was being used as ballast. So that was another shock. So I've come to do a bit of work and decided to try to find where all that rotten wood is. How far does it go? Let's get it out. Have a bit of a check of that concrete ballast. Am I confident with that? And so things have moved on a little bit with that. I'm quite happy with the wood I've taken out. I don't want to do a full refit of the whole thing. I know that would probably be the right thing to do, but that's kind of not us. We bought the boat and we quite liked it. It was a bit dated, but it was also quite quirky, and we kind of liked that. Mrs L certainly doesn't want to change it, and I think she's a little bit scared of what I'm doing because I'm not great with DIY, it's going to have to be said. But anyway, here we go. And actually, it spurred us on to sort of think a little bit more around what we might want to do now that I've got it into this position. So I've taken out this whole settee, and this ran all the way down here, came around a corner and into here. And under there is where the problem sort of was. To get to that floor that was spoiled, I've had to take out the settee. Now this, I think, pretty much was a bespoke, built to fit thing back in the day, 24 years ago. So it was difficult to take out. Mrs L wanted to preserve that, so that made it difficult because I couldn't just hit it with a hammer. I had to try to extract it so that I could use it. Certainly the fascia, and I've managed to do that, and I've managed to save the drawer runners and stuff, so that should all drop back in there, though cut short. So we're going to do a cut off. But what we've decided, that the new thing we're going to do is we have decided we want a log burner. Always fancied one, and this is an ideal sort of space to put that. So take this radiator out of the way, just blank that off. We've got all the radiators down the boat. Build a hearth, so the settee will come to about here, and then build a hearth, I don't know, yay high. I've got to look at all the stuff that you need for the backing. You have to have the special sort of heat insulated stuff, and I need to understand all those regulations. Obviously, glue will come up, big hole in here somewhere. I'll get a man in for that, I'm sure. But overall, I'm really happy. Happy with the floor. I think the inner hull, surprisingly good. You can still see the original red oxide. You can see where the the anti-rust stuff has been applied before. There's some lamination, so I'll get that up. I'll do what I can, whatever I've exposed. I may as well take that opportunity to sort of do what I can with that. I'm not going to go digging and rooting about under the other side. From what I can see, it looks pretty good. I don't want to get obsessed with that. I don't think this will be our first and last boat. So at some point, I'll either be passing this on or it'll go to the Great Boatyard in the Sky. I don't know. So I don't need to get too obsessed with it. Retain the steps. I've had to sort of make sure I don't affect that, the rigidity of that, because I want the steps to remain. So we need to tie that up. I need to put some ply back into here before we put the heat protective material into there. And so be it. I'll put a bit of a plastic sheet over this concrete. Someone's told me that it could well be that the concrete caused a lot of the rot in the wood, because the moisture will be getting trapped in there. So I'm not sure, but this concrete's got a good membrane in it. So yeah, the water pump was in there, and I think if I'm putting a hearth there and a wood burner, then I'm going to have issues with accessing that water pump in the future. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the water pump round and I'm going to position it about here. So it'll be under the settee as such. At the end, because the way I've cut it off, we lose a drawer, and we end up with like half a compartment of where a drawer would have been. So yeah, it should fit into there, I think. So I've just got to extend the pipe work and the cabling, and I'll bring it round there, and that'll be easier to access. But ultimately, I'm really pleased with the way this is going. And once that rad's out of there now, once I can get that blanked off, that will help get that water pump repositioned, and then set about getting some fresh ply onto these below the gunnel, and then sort out the flooring, and then make a start building my little plinth for my log burner. Ooh, that's going to be cosy. What I have learnt when working on a boat is to work on anything, you end up with massive piles of stuff that you kind of are using. You've had to move out of the way to access where you want to work. And when the weather's not great outside, you don't want everything getting wet. So that's quite a frustrating thing. It's not like working on a house where you've got a bit of space. And I'm having to take away my rubbish in bags like this. I knew they'd come in handy one day, all these bags that I've got in my cupboard.